That breast cancer month right
That's
there,
right.
Brian.
That's right. Phillips the back set, the right side. Kozar bounces it dead off the block. And boy, that must have had no spin on it because that ball went straight down off the block. And off the blockers, and the troublesome second ball gets sent over by Fertitta. Now Gunn fires it in, and it will be Cockerham stopping it up in the back row. Fertitta flies in. She's blocked at the net. The Wasps continue. Now Fertitta again. Down and hard into the left back row, and all of 6'2", and the best offensive weapon for the Wasps. A National Player of the Week as well back in September. Sesser to serve as the Wasps back into the start of the rotation. Phillips now across the way left side. Ooh, Kozar with a short pass, and she's able to still get it down anyway. I didn't think she'd be able to get that over the antenna.
I didn't either, but that was crazy.
Clark serve now into the center back row. Potential overpass, but Phillips able to avoid it by sending the second ball over. Shepard fires it in and bounces down off of Kozar, and it's going to fall down on the second ball, and the Wasps have their first lead beyond the first couple points of the night. It's 18-17. Phillips to the left side. Freeman flies in, and the back row does the job. Clark at the forearm bump for Tita with a standing swing, and Phillips bumps it up. Hawks the forearm bump, now to the left side, a tip for Freeman, and Sesser goes down on the ground to dig it up. Fertitta up the middle. Hawks gets it up off the ground. Now the back set. Oh, it goes over, and Phillips can't sprawl out long enough, and the Quakers are going to take this one by a count of 25, or the Wasps rather, take it by a count of 25-23. In front row, Shepard gets it right back. It almost bounces that off of Kozar, but Freeman gets it right back. Clark now up the middle as she gets Caudiel. Goes back over on the overpass. Kozar stops it up. Daly able to get the second ball over. Shepard now on the left side, and she bounces it dead off of Moody. That's going to make it 10-5.
We need some momentum, for sure.
Hawks to serve into the center back row, and Clark chases it down. It just bounced dead off of Trishelle, and the Quakers starting a rally of their own at 12-8. Clark now sets it up the middle. Caudiel gets it up off the ground, and Phillips won the battle of the net on the overpass. And it goes over to Miller on the Quakers side in the center back row. Gunn slides in. It's going to fly out. And boy, the Quakers lose another hard one by a count of 25-18. The Wasps now with an easy 2-0 lead.
That right here.
Moody now firing it in. It hits the line. Indecision from the back row, it seemed, Paulette. It's now 4-1, and I stepped over you. Low serve off the top of the net. Moody reads it at the left side. Freeman now flying in on the left side, and it drops dead in between Fertitta and Cockerham. The Quakers make it 8-4. Moody now a low serve into the left back row. Now center of the court. Clark to the left side for Tita, and again another swing the Quakers couldn't do much about. Fertitta all over the court for the Wasps rather, as it's 11-9. Clark bumps it up backwards. Now a 10-foot attempt coming over for Cockerham. Now Phillips sets it up the middle for Copal. Sesser barely keeps it off the ground, and the second ball barely kept off the ground. Give Clark credit, but that was all. As the Quakers take it back now at 19-18. 9 out of 10 times, and Emily Gann's going to call it no timeout now. Kozar now gets it center back row. Moody now with the tip blocked at the net. And now Gunn gets it dead off the block of Caudiel, up the middle, and the Quakers survive to go to the fourth set, 25-23. How about that? A flare, we'll just call it that. Hawks shanks it off the first ball, but somehow Freeman kept that behind the antenna. Fertitta now swinging it in. Phillips has it bounce hard off of her and out. That just goes to show you how hard Fertitta's swing is if it bounces that hard off of Phillips. Standing serve now for Clark as Kozar sends it straight up in the air, but Phillips able to forward bump it all the way to the left side for Freeman, and how about that passing as the Quakers get the ball right back. Off the blockers, but now an overpass, but Copal hit it into the net, but at least Hawks was able to cover. Clark now up the middle for Fertitta, a tip. Hawks keeps it up off the ground. Moody flies it in, and Luckadoo inexplicably played that ball flying out. Hawks the forearm bump up the middle. Miller flies in, and it goes into the center back row. Fertitta now up the middle. Phillips somehow stopped that hard swing, but Kozar is going to have to send over a free ball. Clark now on the second ball, and it trips up the Quakers for a third time. You stop the Fertitta swing, and you have to wonder how on earth can he not stop that second ball, as Emily Gann's going to take a timeout with the Wasps in the middle of a 4-point rally up 15-11. The Quakers are going to need a 3-point rally to extend the match. Phillips now the back set to the right side for Copal, and it's going to fly out. And the Quakers were wanting a tip of the net. I don't think there was one at the net, but either way, the Wasps are going to take this one by a count of 3-1 and win the fourth set by a count of 25-21.